Welcome to South Charlotte Sports Report live on a Tuesday night. Foggy, wet, rainy, nasty outside, and that kind of sets the mood for what's going on with Charlotte-Mecklenburg School Athletics right now that are in a pause, as the superintendent has said. I've got a ton of guests lined up tonight that'll hopefully come in and join us as the night goes. But first, I've got the Crutcher boys, Bo and Walt, Mars Park High School football players here with us tonight that I really wanted to talk to those guys, and then we'll move on. I know that Emily Hurd's going to be coming up after a while and some other folks. So stay tuned with us over the next 30, 40 minutes, and we're just going to let the kids talk. Bo, tell me what's going on. You're a high school junior at Myers Park, right?
Yes, sir. So I'm over at Myers Park. I actually went I decided earlier this fall before originally when the season got canceled, decided to go up and move up to Pittsburgh. And play season there, and I came back after first semester. Now I'm rolled back in Myers Park, back with the team. And I was here for a few weeks, and now we're currently back in a pause period.
That's right. You and I talked this summer, and back this spring and summer, I'll be the first one to say I was telling people if they asked me, put your trust where you think it needs to be. If you don't have the trust in CMS, making sure that football is going to happen, and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association is going to give you a legit deal, and you got an option to go somewhere else, go. And you did. So you took off to Pittsburgh, right?
Yes, sir. I went and played at North Allegheny High School right outside of Pittsburgh.
Right.
In Wexford, Pennsylvania.
Now, that Allegheny High School football is some pretty tough stuff, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how did the season go for you?
It went well. It was good. It was a good experience. I learned a lot. But all in all, it's going to be back at Myers Park.
Good to be back around your friends, right?
Sorry, what did you say? It's
good to be back around your friends.
Yes, sir. And back, especially with the seniors, that was kind of my biggest thing leaving was not be able to see them and finish the season. But now it's great to be back. With them possibly playing in the spring, I can be a great part of that and be able to support them the best that I can and be around the team. What
was key for you? Why did you go up there? Was it film? Did you need to just put yourself on film as much as you could? Because I know you want to play college football.
It was honestly a fear of what CMS would do. It kind of originally started, I remember they sent out that questionnaire to everybody in the state, and CMS was the only one not to answer, and that kind of riled us up a little bit. And then all of a sudden they said February 28th and not much else. To be honest, I didn't really see that to be true, and I originally thought that they would eventually change that. And now, unfortunately, I think that might have to be changed again.
I think you and I were on the same wavelength this entire time. I can think back to our conversation before, and I remember, when CMS didn't even turn it in. The superintendent didn't even take the time to turn it in, agreeing to play. So we knew right there it was going to be a mess. And that's really what forced the North Carolina High School Athletic Association to not begin any sports until December and waste all that incredible time that was where the metrics were right and everything else. Exactly. We could have had a real football season here, but man, I'm all for that. And here comes the young guy, Walt. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Freshman, right? So you're ready to jump in and put the green and black and white on, right?
I was ready freshman year.
That's right. So
real football.
So you guys walk me through the process. You were allowed to come back in and start just a month or so ago and have team workouts, correct?
Yes, sir. So we got a few workouts in just like a few weeks, and then like CMS just decided to shut it down. And so like right now we're at, like what Bo said, we're in a pause period, and we're really not able to do anything at the school or with any of our teammates. But like we're just trying to like stay ready by ourselves and get some workouts in and stuff like that.
So best case scenario, as I see it, and would be February 15th. You could possibly begin practicing again with the first scheduled game sometime around February 27th or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I know it'd be a very short turnaround, but to get you guys ready to go. But I guess that's best case scenario and what you're hoping for right now.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We're just hoping we can get what we get, and if not, we're just going to stay prepared. Especially, I know Myers Park's staying prepared. Even with us not being together, we're holding each other accountable independently, making sure we're all getting the workouts, getting the lifts. So whenever we're ready to go, we'll be ready to go and come together as a team and make it happen.
Obviously, you guys have some friends that are swimmers. You have some lacrosse playing friends. You have some boys soccer playing friends. And you got some basketball playing friends.
Yes, sir.
those guys, you want to talk about having your season blown up.
Exactly.
Their season has been blown up. Even if we
sir.
come back February 15th, their season has been blown up.
Yes, sir.
And the very unfortunate part there, those lacrosse teams, boys and girls, had their season blown up a year ago. So they're looking at 2 years in a row.
Yes, sir. So I have a few friends on the basketball team, and I believe so they just started the season, had a few games, and now with them not being able to play, everyone else is moving forward in the state. So once that time comes when they're able to play again, they might not have enough to qualify for the playoffs, and that could just cause all sort of problems for a really good team.
It's just a shame. It's a shame. If this were something going on across the state and no one was playing, I think we could probably handle it a little bit better. But
Yes,
for one man to make this decision, and
that's how I kind of felt at the start.
Yeah.
It was almost at the start. It was kind of like everybody was in the same boat. We're all going through it together. And now it's just kind of like, why is CMS sitting here? What's the deal? They're not really giving us much explanation other than dates, really.
And I just from a few minutes ago, there's a CMS board meeting tonight, I saw where he said that he's going to talk with the health department officials about swimming and diving. I don't know why he hadn't talked to them the last 2 weeks about it, but now he's going to talk to them and see if they can. I guess it's this weekend, I think, is the regionals. I'm not sure, but maybe they'll get back in the pool. We'll pull for that anyway. But let's talk about the future. Walt, I'll go with you. You know, you're a younger guy. What are you hoping to accomplish over the next 4 years? Do you want to follow in your brother's footsteps, create your own name? What do you want to do?
That would be great for me to just kind of follow in Bo's footsteps. He's kind of just like a mentor for me and kind of helps me out with everything. But I think it'd be great to get back like with the team. Like as I said, it's freshman year, so I don't really know many of those guys very well. And so it's like also a social aspect of it, being with everyone, being able to like progress with everybody.
Now, Bo, I'm going to have you. Let's pretend everything's fine.
Yes, sir.
Myers Park has lost some players they thought they were going to have if everything was normal. I think that's safe to say. You've lost 2 quarterbacks, you've lost yourself, you've lost 1 or 2 kids went down to South Carolina. What kind of team can we expect from Myers Park this year?
I think the biggest thing you're going to see is the team chemistry. I think it's going to be incredible. We've all gotten really close over this period. Even though we've been apart, we've been able to stay connected more than ever. And I think we're all going to be ready to play. Kids who you've never seen on varsity before are going to come out and play the best you've ever seen somebody play. And I think we're more than ready to come out and stay with the competition. I think we'll still be way up there.
Still be there.
Yes,
are you guys enrolled in the full remote academy, or how are y'all enrolled?
So we're not. So we are enrolled if we're able to go back to school, which we'll see on that as well.
That's what I was getting. Yeah, that's what I was getting to right there.
For like the hybrids.
What's it going to be like? I mean, we know that you're going to go a minimum of 11 months without going inside of that school, and
yes, sir.
You know, I still don't have much faith in February 15th allowing you to go back into the classrooms. I don't think they're probably not prepared. But what is it? What's it like every day sitting at home and having to do your work and not? I'm sure you see your close friends most of the time, but you know those folks that you're buddies with that you see in math class, and maybe you don't hang out with them, but you know what is it? What will it mean to go back and see those kind of folks?
Yeah, I mean it's been tough. So with online, we've kind of it has been tough being at home, but we've kind of figured out how to improvise, especially during last spring. We kind of figured out how the deal would go with compromising, with doing school and football as well, kind of how to time management on that. But we've kind of worked through that, and then not being able to go back to school has been real tough. There's been, like you said, I've seen my teammates, which has been great whenever they'll let us get together. And I've seen my close friends. There's just some kids who who I haven't seen in about a year, and I'm just hoping we get back to school for that. And if this keeps going on forward for the next year, I might never be able to see them again. So that'll make it real tough if they keep following through with this. So
yeah, it will be interesting what the school season looks like when we get to next August. That's for sure. And
I'm just hoping. I'm afraid that we'll go back, and it's still going to be. I'm just hoping it'll go back to how it was originally.
Don't we all?
We'll see. Absolutely.
Don't we all? It has been a crying shame to have made it this far and not gotten you guys back inside the classroom. I agree. Leave it at that. But I appreciate y'all two joining me. Like I said, I've got some other student athletes coming up here, but know that I'm pulling for you. And, I've talked to Coach Chadwick a lot, and
Yes, sir.
I know how badly he wants to be back around all of his kids. And
absolutely. Yes, sir.
hopefully it'll work out. And
Yes,
no, just make sure that both of y'all pay special attention to all of your friends, and
Absolutely.
you're keeping
Yes,
them
sir.
lifted up, and don't let anybody get too isolated.
Absolutely. And when the time comes, we'll be back ready to get at it.
I know you will.
Sir,
I know you
absolutely.
will, buddy.
I appreciate you having us.
Of course, Bo, Walt, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to get you guys out of here, and I'm going to bring in another guest here in a second. But keep in touch, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
having
Alrighty.
us.
Thank you, guys. All right, I'm back here. Going to bring in another guest. Like I said, I just put the word out an hour or two ago that I was just going to open my live stream and talk to student athletes, and my email blew up, and I wish I could get them all on tonight, but we've got 4 or 5 that we're going to talk to. So we're going to bring in right now Emily Hurd. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you could hear me. Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your school, your sport.
I'm a senior at Hopewell High School, and I have been diving now for 10 years. I started when I was 8 years old, so I did a lot of national competitions and all sorts of stuff back then, but the past couple of years I've just been doing high school diving. And, the season got cut short, and, I had my last competition on the 9th without knowing it was my last competition. I went to practice on the 12th and thought I was coming back the 14th, and the 14th it got canceled. So, it's just been crazy.
So you're, I guess this past weekend you would have missed the conference. Well, when would conference have been? This past weekend or this coming weekend?
It was supposed to be the 23rd.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that would have already happened. So now the next thing that's on your hope list, I guess we would say, is February 5th through the 7th, right there in your backyard, Huntersville. That's where you
Yeah.
live at. The regional championships. And as it stands right now, just to go backwards a little bit, CMS Superintendent Ernest Winston said that sports are over with. We're taking a pause. I'm going to let volleyball finish because they're in the state playoffs. I'm going to let cross country finish because they're in the state playoffs. Swimming, you're done. You're not to your state's playoff yet. And part of that was they did a terrible job of scheduling the CMS swimming on their own. They didn't even have their schedule lined up with the state schedule, which doesn't surprise me considering some things. But so you were done, and you've believed now for 2 weeks that you were done. And there was so many of you that wanted to compete in regionals and go into finals. And I know we would have so many state champions from our area. We always do. You're kind of in a holding pattern. I will tell you that I just saw on Twitter about 5 minutes before this started that someone had asked Superintendent Winston to please reconsider his decision. And he said that he would talk with the health department.
Yeah.
See what the best thing to do is. Well, my thing there is, why have you not been why didn't you talk to the health department before you made the decision? And why haven't you been talking to it since? The agony that the swimmers have been put through was just as if you didn't have enough stress. So we'll see what happens. I do know that your district representative on the Board of Education, Rhonda Cheek, made a point in the meeting to encourage him to reconsider as well. But and I've been making that point for a while now. But as hurt as you've been, what would it mean if the green light got turned back on and you could go to the regionals?
It would just mean the world to me because, diving's been such a big part of my life for the past 10 years, and to have no really end and, send off in any sort of way has just been sort of heartbreaking. And it's kind of crazy because swim and dive has been one of the safest ones with COVID numbers. CMS swimming has only had 3 cases, and CMS diving has had 0. And, the CDC has shown that the chlorinated water doesn't transmit the virus. And so it's just sort of heartbreaking to see that we've been the safest sport and that we were so close to being able to finish out our season. And then swimmers 2 days before their conference, they were taken out. And some of them were on cross country and competed in their conference the day before. And then 24 hours later, they weren't allowed to compete in the swim conference. And so it's just been shocking and heartbreaking to all of us that we haven't been treated. We sort of feel like swim and dive gets put on the back burner compared to other more popular sports because, unless it's an Olympic year, no one really talks about swimming or diving.
Which is amazing, because I would almost be willing to bet you that swimming and diving have produced more state champions in Mecklenburg County than almost every other sport.
Yeah, I know personally from Hopewell, we do really well every year, and I know Huff does really well as well.
Charlotte Catholic has an incredible program.
Yeah.
I mean, Providence, a bunch of them. It's just a wonderful sport, and it's a shame that you're in limbo. But let's talk a little bit about what were your coaches doing for your practices to keep you safe?
So as far as dryland, I practiced with the dryland for swimming. We met at the school at this football stadium, and we were all spread apart on yoga mats doing, cardio and strength exercises and stuff like that. And then as far as diving, they cut down warm-up time. Usually we'd have about an hour of warm-up where you do some workouts, ab workouts, strength workouts, and then you'd go onto the trampoline and the dry board to practice your skills for the water. And then you just spend an hour in the water. So they've cut that time down to half an hour, and we really don't get enough time to warm up, but it is what it is. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're all wearing masks the whole time, and which is crazy with the water. It's kind of hard, but, we figured it out. So once we're in the water, we've got reduced numbers. There's 4 people in my practice total. And so between each dive, you put your mask back on and you wait in line. And then when it's your turn, you take it off, hang it up on the side of the board, and then you go. And then you put it back on and you just keep going for the hour. And, we obviously stay socially distanced and all that stuff. And then the competitions, we have the same rule with the masks. And then we're not allowed to wait next to each other. We wait in the stands, all sitting 6 feet apart. And so we've been taking a lot of precautions, and we haven't had any cases so far from diving. So
I'm pulling for you. I want you to know that. I'm pulling for all swimmers and divers, and for the guidance for Superintendent Winston to make the right decision. But let's talk about some other things. What's in your future? What you get through this school year? What's next for you?
I have been accepted into my dream school, Appalachian State. I've been wanting to go there since 7th grade. So that's my next step. I'm going to major in elementary education.
Yeah, good place to go.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. And it's kind of sad because they don't have a diving program. So this was going to be my last season. And so that's a little heartbreaking to.
But you can go win the intramural championship for diving. How's that?
There you go.
Those girls won't know what they've seen when they see it. Tell me this. Why is it your dream school? I hear people say that. That's my dream school. I'm going to my dream school. Why is it your dream school?
Well, first of all, obviously it's one of the best schools for teaching. So, that's a big factor for me. But, the mountains have just always been my happy place, the place where I feel, relaxed and at home, and just being there makes me happy every time I get to visit. I'm smiling the whole time. I, just get to be there and be happy. And I can't wait to live there for 4 years at least. And, just be there every day.
Yeah, don't rush through it. Enjoy every minute and see if you can get an extra year or 2 out of it. It is a very nice place. It's you'll have the coldest of cold days, but you'll have the most beautiful summer days while you're up there as well.
Yeah, it's a great place.
What's been your favorite memory of diving in your career?
Oh, that's hard. Because I've had so many amazing memories, I had an amazing time at the state competition my freshman year. I wasn't expecting to be there. I was a freshman, and I made it all the way to the finals at states, and I had a bunch of friends. I actually saw one of my friends who I competed with through national competitions who lives a couple hours away. So they dived for another team, but they were at the state competition. I got to see them. Diving is sort of unique in that you're all on different teams and you're individuals, but through that, you become sort of one big team. And so I think that's been one of my favorite things is, that even though we're competing against each other, we're all cheering for each other, and we're all, there for each other and friends, so I think that's been my favorite part.
It's ironic that I'm talking to you tonight. Earlier today, I was talking to one of the best divers we've seen come through this area in a long time. Nikki Canali. I don't know if you know her from Marvin Ridge, but good friends with her mom and dad, and was talking to her earlier today.
We actually dove together for a long time. We went to the state or national championship. Well, first year we hosted it, and the second year we went to Texas together. But we were on the national team together for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about the irony of, if the superintendent does not change his mind, that the regionals will be in your backyard in Mecklenburg County, in which the Mecklenburg County Health Department is deemed safe enough to hold, but she has also said not safe enough for CMS students to participate. How ironic is that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're trying to keep us as students safe, but
Makes you shake your head, doesn't it?
It does. It makes you a little confused as to why it's okay to hold it, but we can't be part of it. And
you probably live just a few miles away, right?
I do. I've been diving at that facility for the whole time I've been diving, and so and they're still holding practices for those teams. They're still allowed to practice, and swim at that facility is still allowed to practice, and swim at other facilities are in the area are still allowed to practice, and yet CMS is not allowed to practice or compete, even though everyone around us is. So
yeah, and it's I think when I talk to students, most of them are quick to recognize, hey, this virus is real.
Yes.
I have had friends that have had it. I've had friends that have had it and been very sick, and I've had friends that have had it and have not been sick. So it's not that the students are, they're not denying that. They just see everyone on every county that touches us and every state that touches us competing, and then to have to go through what they're going through. I think that's been the most frustrating part, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think, what myself and my teammates are asking is that the school board just tries to find a different solution, problem solving instead of just shutting it completely down, because, we believe there are ways we could safely compete, and we understand that we're a bigger county, and so there's been some more cases, and, we're in a little bit of a different situation than those around us. But we also believe that if we work together to find a solution, that we could still have somewhat of a season.
Right. How much are you missing being inside the classroom and seeing all of your friends?
It's really rough for me because I'm super involved in ROTC. I'm the battalion coordinator for our ROTC program. I actually, Hopewell is like the best program in.
They do have a great program for that, don't they?
Yeah, we have an amazing program, and so having to lead that program from home and not being able to do the benchmark events that we have every year, like Christmas ball, and I'm the captain of the rifle team this year, and we're not able to do that, and it's just been really hard to not get to do the things you look forward to every year, that are sort of tradition, and so you can't do that again.
Are you wanting to carry any of your ROTC into App State, or you wanted to continue in any way?
I'm not planning on doing anything related to the military. I have loved being part of ROTC and JROTC, and I hope to continue with that leadership abilities that it has prepared me with. But I don't see myself going into sort of any military-based things.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, Emily, I really appreciate you joining me. I am, not that anyone's listening downtown, but I am pushing as hard as I can for your sport and for all sports. We have to watch out for all sports. We can't focus on just our own, because there's plenty of people hurting. And I'll say the same thing to you. I've said to just about every student that I've interviewed over the last 11 months. Make sure you're keeping up with all of your friends and everyone and checking in on people maybe you don't talk to every day, and don't let anybody get isolated. It's there's a lot of people struggling to handle what they've been put through right now, and we don't want to lose anyone or see anyone go down a rabbit hole that they can't get out of.
Yes, I know. We appreciate you and everyone else that has been advocating for us student athletes. We really appreciate that.
Well, I wish you the best at App State. I'm going to cross my fingers and wish you the best February 5th through the 7th at the meet. I maybe, we're going to keep pushing. Hopefully you get to go for it and go from there. But I've got another person that I'm going to bring in now. So, Emily, I appreciate it. Good luck. I'll be watching, okay?
Thank you very much. You have a
All
nice
right.
night.
You too. All right. We got some more folks we're going to bring in. I think I've got Taylor Eshelman here. She's going to hopefully turn on her video screen so we can see her. There she comes. Let me bring her in. Taylor, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell us a little bit about yourself, schools, your sport.
I'm a junior at Hopewell. I'm the team captain for the Hopewell swim team. I've swam every year there, varsity swimmer, all 3 years so far, and I'm currently at my club team practice, but I got
That's
out
right.
just for this.
That's what I heard. You were there. So just had one of your teammates, Emily Hurd, on. Excellent diver. And I'm going to ask you the same thing. What does it feel like right now to have had your season ripped out from underneath you with really no warning whatsoever, and to be in such limbo right now? What does it feel like?
It was honestly horrible for me. Like, when I first found out, I was more mad, but then we had practice later that day, and it was our last practice together as a team, and then we couldn't practice anymore together, and I was more mad. And when I got to practice, like, it was so sad because seeing all the seniors, it's probably going to be the last time we get to see our seniors, and everyone was just like so shocked, and including me. And at the end of practice, me and other swimmers actually like broke down crying, including my coach, because we were so upset about our season being taken away from us, especially when we were less than 48 hours from our conference meet.
I listen. I fully understand it. I have a high school baseball player in my house, and he went to practice on March 12th, and it all came to an end. And it was horrible.
Yeah, it really is.
It was horrible. He cried. I cried. My wife cried. It was terrible. And at that point, if you'll remember, 2 weeks, slow the spread, all that stuff. And I just can remember every single day, Dad, is it slowing down? Dad, is it slowing down? Are we going to be able to start again? And no,
Yeah.
we weren't. But I do want to tell you, because you've probably been in the pool, that there is a CMS board meeting tonight, and the superintendent was pushed by a few people to, fix your mistake here. You've made a mistake with swimming and diving. And about the only thing that he said was, I'm going to talk with a health department, which means get a lady named Gibby Harris, and see. But, I don't know if that brings hope or not, but at some point, maybe the right person will get to him. And, out of all the mistakes that have been made, this is a very simple one to correct. This regionals in a week and a half is just miles away from your house, right?
Yeah, it is.
You're there, right? Is that where you're at right now?
No, I'm at Moss Creek right now.
Okay.
But HFFA, where they're holding regionals, it's like 12 minutes from my house.
Yeah. Which will be the irony of all ironies if folks from other counties can come and swim in our county, and kids in our county cannot. But tell me a little bit about yourself. What's next for you beyond? You're a senior, correct?
I'm a junior.
A junior, so you don't know what's next yet. So,
No.
are you? What are your goals? What do you want to see happen over the next year or two for yourself?
I definitely want things to go back to normal, but I've been looking at colleges that offer swim scholarships.
Yeah.
So that's what, I don't have anything like fully figured out yet, but that's what I've been looking at. But my main goal right now is just keeping in touch with my friends and making sure they're okay. And I just like I just want the swim season back.
That's all I want back for you, but you're doing the right thing and keeping in touch with all your friends. And I tell people, if you'll do that, not only will you make them feel better, you'll make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I'm living this right with you, with having a son the same age as you, and we have to watch out for one another. There's nothing easy about this.
Yeah. My friends, I just know my one friend, she was so upset because she's a sophomore on the team, and her brother is currently a senior, and so this is his last year swimming, and she was literally so heartbroken because she was like, this is gonna be the last year I get to swim with my brother.
Yeah.
And we didn't even get to finish the season. So it's heartbreaking for her and everyone else who's going through the same thing.
Well, I'm pulling for you. I want you to know that. And I'm advocating everywhere that I can. And that's something I've been doing for the last 11 months. And sometimes, these adults don't like to listen to kids. So other adults have to step up and echo their voice and be a bigger voice for them. And that's what I'm trying my best to do for you. So you get back in that pool where it's safe and work your tail off, and hopefully good things will come. And if something happens and you're able to swim in that regional tournament, I wish you the absolute best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and all of this.
No, you keep working hard and keep doing the things you're doing. I think you're on the right track.
Thank you.
That's been Taylor Eshelman joining us tonight. Let me slide her out, and I've got two on the line, Cameron Carter, and then we'll get to Olympia Lee. But Cameron, let me bring him in. There's Cameron Carter. How are you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. I'm unmuted, right?
You're good, man. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Your sport, your school.
So I go to Providence High School, and I'm both on the swim team and on the soccer team. So I got hit both ways as far as canceling upcoming sports.
You really did, didn't you?
Yeah. So everything the last speaker just said, I can echo those sentiments. I'm not the best swimmer. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm really on the team for spirit. I'm a captain because, I cheer, and, I just love the being on the team, and to see everyone's chance at states and conference and regionals just get dashed away like that, especially some of my senior friends, was really disheartening. Same thing with soccer. Everything's up in the air, and as you said, there's going to be that meeting very soon, so hopefully I'll be able to at least recoup some of my soccer season at the very least.
So you would have played either last night or tonight. It looks like most people played, right? Most people had their first game. So best case scenario, you're looking at a return to the field the week of February 15th to the 17th, somewhere in there. What are you doing to stay in soccer shape?
So, a lot of it is individual responsibility. It's kind of hard to get, teenage boys to, follow a workout plan, especially when you can't have any contact with any staff member or coaches. So that's been a unique challenge, but, me and a couple other captains have been trying to devise, some workouts that players can do on their own. And, sometimes we're able to play a pickup game or two, wearing masks, following all those safety, because really we want to keep our season alive, and we don't want to, further any risk that would, jeopardize the season. So,
and you bring up a good point. I will tell you, and for any other athlete listening, the worst thing you could do right now is have an outbreak on your team. That's just going to give some of these folks on the board and the superintendent more reason for saying, no, look, we can't do it. There was an outbreak on two of the local basketball teams, and that certainly has not helped their case whatsoever. So I would tell everyone, as mad or upset as you are, don't lower your guard and get this, because it's not good. Mm-hmm. And there are long-term effects for many people for it. But the last thing I want to read about is your soccer team having an outbreak, and it would be bad.
Yeah, especially with the novel strains that are more contagious. I think it's really critical that, our guard isn't lowered, and that we know that CMS did this for a reason. We might not necessarily agree with it, but, if we totally ignore it, then that would be playing against our favor.
Well, tell me about yourself. What's next for you? What are your big goals? What do you want to do beyond this year?
Well, I am mainly focused on just going to college. I've had a couple acceptance letters, NC State, Purdue, and I'm waiting on a handful of other reach schools that I'll probably not get into. But as far as athletics go, one of my reach schools, Carnegie Mellon, they have a D3 soccer program that I'm really interested in. But me playing for that team would, one, require me to be able to get in there academically, and two, be able to walk on and try out for the team, which would be pretty difficult given the year-long hiatus I've had from soccer. But I would very much look forward to that, and if the opportunity presented itself, I would wholeheartedly take it.
What can we look for once the season does come back from your soccer team?
Well, we have a lot of talent. I'm not sure if you follow Providence Soccer too.
I do. You always have talent.
So as you know, we lost Jackson Youngstrom, All-American.
Yeah.
Joe Dalrymple, committed to college. Every year we lose a lot of talent, but it's important to be reminded that every year we get that talent back, and we have some promising young stars that I like to see on the field. Moving up from JV, like Ewan Gath and David Sturges. They're really hard workers that I think move the ball to the midfield really well. We have returners like Nico Rico and Bennett Proctor, who I always feel very comfortable giving them the ball as goalkeeper, and a handful of other people that totally new faces, but not necessarily new to Providence. There's a kid named Noah Franks. I believe he's one of the top goal scorers for DA for the sophomore class, which I was amazed to hear that he wanted to join our team. But I'll take him. Same with Elijah. He's from the middle college, but he went to Providence prior, and really hard worker, knows how to play a diagonal ball really great. I'm really looking forward to our prospects as a team, especially competing against South Mech and AK and all of our regular conference rivalries.
I hope you get to enjoy those. I really do. We've got to get you back out there, and I think you hit on a lot of the key points of staying safe and being ready to roll February 15th and finish the season strong, and be thankful that you got what you got, but you'll never get what you lost. You'll never get back. But if we can at least get you that back at this point, it's a small victory.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you joining me, and I'll be pulling for you, and continue fighting for yourself, continue speaking your voice up. And if you believe in something, always speak up. And like I've told every guest tonight, make sure you're checking on some of your more distant friends that maybe you don't talk to every day, and just make sure that they're okay, because it's very easy to become isolated as we go through what we're going through right now.
Agreed. Definitely.
Cameron, thanks for joining us. I'm going to bring in Olympia Lee here in a second, but I'll be following you and pulling for you, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. All right. Let me bring Olympia Lee in. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell me about yourself, your school, your sport.
I'm a junior and I play lacrosse at Providence High School.
That's right. You're classmates, I guess, with Cameron there at Providence. But tell me a little bit about, you're getting the double whammy, for lack of a better word. You lost your lacrosse season last year. Now you've had half of it taken away this year.
Yeah, it's been really tough, especially, at least me personally. I started out brand new my freshman year, and I learned a lot my first year, but my sophomore year was supposed to be all about, taking that next step and really improving. I was supposed to be moved up to varsity halfway throughout the year, and since we didn't get to continue, that didn't get to happen. So I feel like a lot of that was a complete missed opportunity to obviously better myself and continue learning with new teammates as well.
Exactly. So what did it feel like when you got the news that you're done for a while?
I was actually in my chemistry class in third block, and my mom had heard about it. She came in and told me, and I just about broke down because I was really upset. I was on FaceTime with my friends actually working on some work, and I just had to leave. It was so devastating. That's
the right emotion. And that's what I had told someone earlier. It's the same emotion I went through with my son for baseball season last year. And it's tough enough that you can't go to the classroom and see all of your friends. Then all of a sudden to know, hey, lacrosse is going to get going. I'm going to get to see 20, 30 of my friends every day. And then bam, that is gone. So it's has it really been a kind of a roller coaster of emotions the last 11 months for you?
Absolutely. Even just beginning our preseason back in October, September-ish, that was really big, just being able to do something in person regarding school. That was almost like a booster of emotion. It kind of kept me going. And then hearing that it's canceled and that I can't keep doing that anymore, like not only practicing more, but getting to interact with someone in person other than, my family every day, it's almost like I don't have anything to go for anymore, but just hoping that we can hopefully return in February.
No, listen, Olympia, that's the same emotion that I hear from almost every student that I talk to. And when I talk to them in private, I hear, a lot more of what they're going through. And we are not programmed as human beings to be isolated for 11 months or 1 month at that. And I think that's why it's so key right now that you're checking in on your friends and you're finding, more distant friends and trying to lift them up. It's, there's bad things going on in our area and across the country. There are kids that have attempted and committed suicide, and because they didn't feel any way out, any hope left. And that's I think that's why it's so key that you're talking to your friends right now.
Absolutely. At least I know personally I really struggle and have been struggling doing school online. And I know that I'm not the only person.
No, Lord, no.
So, especially people that have lost two sports. I have a teammate, she's a senior captain for the swim team as well, and she had her whole season canceled as well as lacrosse. So I know it must be just twice as much for her.
It's just not. It's devastating, is what it is. And I these are your most precious moments. These are your high school times to interact and to be social and to go to prom, which obviously probably will not have it. Let's be real. They'll cancel it again. It's your time to go to a real graduation and things like that. And it's been taken away from you. And I understand some of it being taken away, but I also understand that with good leadership and work, there's a way to make a lot of things happen. And when I talk to students here in Mecklenburg County, they tell me, why will they not even try? Why are we not looking for ways to do things? And I think that's probably the frustrating part is you live 10 minutes from the county line, Union County, and you see all those folks and what they've got going on. That's it must be difficult.
Yes, I actually played a club with a bunch of Weddington friends, and last year I wouldn't say a club, but it was just 2 games every Sunday. And we had that, and majority of them were Marvin Ridge. So seeing and talking to my friends on like Snapchat or social media and seeing them being able to practice every day and maybe being a little upset about having a conditioning practice, like it's almost like you would just do like anything. And I know that Weddington, at least Weddington's women lacrosse team, has a game tomorrow, and it's, we were supposed to play Butler today. And it's just, like, what would it be like if we had been doing the same?
I see what you're saying. I was thinking earlier today, here I am, I retweet all the news I see for sports and different high schools, and I almost feel guilty in a way that I'm sharing all this incredible news from the Union County schools and the private schools, and I can't share anything from the Mecklenburg County schools right now. And I feel almost like I'm shortchanging people, but there's nothing there. And I hate that, because you're supposed to have this joy right now. You're supposed to be out there playing your lacrosse game in that deep fog that we have out there tonight, and having a great time with your friends and maybe going to cookout or somewhere afterwards. Those are the memories that are being taken away right now.
Yeah, and that's when I 100% agree. And that's when the aspect of just doing what you can with what you can't do. We can't control what the board says. We can't control people not wearing their masks, cases spreading, but we can independently do what we can, individual practicing, bettering ourselves for when we can come back.
And yeah, exactly. And just keeping yourself healthy and not letting your guard down. That's the biggest key. Well, did you tell me you were a junior or a senior?
I'm a junior.
Junior. Okay. So kind of too far right now to look at what you want to do after high school, but have you put any thought in that at all?
Over the years, I've kind of noticed that I enjoy science courses or math courses more. So I am planning on going into some kind of career regarding any science. I really enjoyed an astronomy class that I took and biomedical classes.
Well, keep pursuing those things and find yourself something fun, and don't give up on lacrosse, because lacrosse will never give up on you. And be there, be a leader right now for your team, and keep everyone's spirits up.
Absolutely. Even, our captains are doing everything they can, communicating with our coaches, and even the people that aren't captains, it's all about everyone working as a team. We've actually been having practices over Zoom, like
Yeah.
and then some days we even have independent workout days where we communicate with an assigned partner so we can still kind of be in contact with each other. And I think that has definitely helped a lot, just staying together as one unit.
It does. Anything that you can put on your calendar and look forward to is a positive. Olympia, I really appreciate you joining me tonight. It has been a wonderful night here on South Charlotte Sports Report Live. I'm going to continue opening my live stream for students to tell their story, and I think it's good for me to talk to you guys and for you guys to talk to me and talk to the public. So I'll get tonight's broadcast up on my YouTube channel here in a little bit, but keep the spirit up, keep working hard, and I'll be pulling for you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate everything you've been doing.
Thanks, Olympia. This has been Tripper Oaks for the South Charlotte Sports Report live broadcast tonight. We will continue with it and keep going. We've been doing it for 11 months now. Just for my update for the I now have 5 requests into CMS chairwoman Elise Deshu to join me for an interview, like many of the other political and elected leaders of our state have done, and she's yet to reply to an email. So I'll keep asking Elise, and maybe she'll join us and let these students know what's going on. Thanks, everyone. Be safe, and we'll see you again. Take care. Good night.